You can reference that thing happened last week.
Hi, I'm Sydney.
And I'm Brittany.
And you're watching Terrier News. Last Friday, the Carbondale Terriers faced off with the Marion Wildcats on our home turf.
Although it was a fun and exciting game, in the end, the Wildcats beat the Terriers 60-47.
After the second quarter, the Terriers fell behind Marion. As a result, the game snowballed out of control. Even though the basketball team ended with a loss, they're still working hard for the next season's game against Jackson, Missouri.
So right now we have to be focused on what we do best and what we're not doing more specifically, and really focus on those type of things.
I feel pretty good. Our team, we have a lot of anger, a lot of passion. We want to just play harder and prove ourselves from the last game we had against Marion.
We hope that our viewers come out and support our basketball team this Friday against Jackson, Missouri. Have you ever heard that we wear the mask that hides our eyes?
Yeah, that's from a poem, right?
That's right. On February 25th in the CCHS auditorium at 6 p.m. there will be a poetry slam for Black History Month. There are 4 senior participants performing a poem called Counting Graves.
After the performance will be a discussion about a poem written by Maya Angelou.
The event is put on to raise awareness about the inequalities and dangers of life as an African American.
Dark as a black soul, only vivid images pop out of us as like quantum physics. But brother, where are you? I can't see, I can't.
Mr. Smith is sponsoring the event and will answer any questions you might have.
He is usually located by the athletic department office during the school day.
Recently, students have been able to register to vote in the cafeteria hallway during both A and B lunch.
Students who turn 18 by the next election are able to register with Ms. Jones.
Faculty and students both see this as an integral part of the democratic process and necessary for our government to work.
We have a little bit different law. Most places you have to be 18, but Illinois actually allowed 17-year-olds to register and vote in the primary prior to the next general election. So for example, next year, 2020, you have the November presidential elections, but there's going to be another round of preliminary elections to narrow down the number of Democrats and Republicans to a single candidate. Those are the primaries. So in Illinois, we actually allow 17-year-olds to vote in the primaries. That way they get a voice in who's going to be on that November general election ballot down the road. So I think, that's a good thing that we do, that we allow a little bit younger than 18 to vote so they have some input prior to that main election, November 2020. I think anytime you remove barriers, that's a good thing. I think that what we see is that people have intentions to do it, to register, but they just don't get around to it. So if we can make it more convenient, I think that's just a positive.
Thanks, Mr. Allen.
Younger adults need to register to vote because nowadays they think that, oh, well, if I don't vote, someone else will. And they don't get involved in politics, and then they complain about everything that they don't have a right to because they haven't voted. So I feel like younger adults need to register to vote so that they can vote and have their input.
I hope everybody who is able takes this opportunity very seriously.
Again, students who are eligible to register can still do so with Ms. Jones in the yearbook office. While seniors are working their way out of CCHS, the freshmen are working their way in. 8th graders from all different feeder schools come to tour and get a look around the high school.
The tour showed the 8th graders how the schedules work and showed them different hallways and what classes there are in each hallway.
Although the 8th graders are officially enrolled in CCHS yet, it's still important to show them around and to get to see and know the school they'll be at. We caught up with a freshman mentor to see what they had to say about our 8th grade tour.
they will learn not only about the clubs that we have here, but also the schematics of how the schedule works. I think that, a lot of people can get tripped up about what classes they need to go at what certain time, and I think that this tour will not only decomplicate things, but get them adjusted to also meeting the teachers in their respective classrooms.
Tour start off in the auditorium, and then we'll go through different hallways and just tell them about each hallway, and then we'll end up in the cafeteria.
I'm so excited to see what the school year will be like next year when the incoming freshmen are here.
Me too. We'll just have to wait and see.
It's track time of the year again.
This Thursday, our track team is traveling to Marion to compete in their first meet this year.
They're looking forward to their events.
We're trying to build off of the success we had last year. The girls were conference champions, and I think we're in a good position to repeat. And we got a lot more numbers on the boys' side, so I think we finished 4th in the conference meet, and the talent we have, we should be in the running as well for the conference title. And on top of that, take as many people to state as possible.
Our teams have been working out for a month straight, and we're really looking forward to just showing Southern Illinois what we're made of.
I'm expecting a lot of personal bests by pretty much all the athletes the first meet.
Wish them good luck Thursday on their way to the meet.
Good luck.
We all know the weather in Carbondale has been terrible, from freezing rain and snow.
But one of the problems that comes with that are sickness.
The most kinds of sickness we see in this weather are the common cold and the flu.
Some preventative measures that can be taken are keeping your hands washed and keeping them to yourselves.
Well, really, since I teach classes that have to do with nursing and healthcare, most of my students have had a flu shot, and I really think it's been very effective this year. I've had very few absences due to the flu because most of my students, again, as I said, have been vaccinated. I think the shot's been very effective this year in either completely preventing flu or in reducing the severity of the case.
So we are seeing quite a few instances of the common cold. We've had a few flu cases here at the school too. So the best thing to do to prevent that is keep your hands clean, keep them to yourselves, drink plenty of water, take some vitamin C, and get plenty of rest.
Just remember, if you're feeling like you're sick, stay home or see one of our lovely nurses in Terrier Care.
And remember to wash your hands and keep them to yourself to keep the germs away. Thank you and have a great day.
Okay, can we redo the one about the... No.